Hello, my name is Kimberly Wilson of Tranquility Du Jour, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Kimberly. So please grab a cup of tea and maybe a pen and paper. And what I want to talk about today is something that I think is so important, especially for women, and it's about self-compassion. So Dr. Kristen Neff, who you can Google and find so much about, she is the co-creator of so much around mindful self-compassion, and she's got a beautiful website with lots and lots of resources, books, etc. I did a training of hers a few years ago, and I just find her reminders to be so helpful. So, what I wanted to touch on, and I've got my book in front of me where I share a bit about this on page 68 of Year of Tranquility. And basically, she's got three practices of self compassion. And what is self compassion? The way she describes it, and I love this, is treating yourself as you would a child who is sick, right? So, super tender, delicate, loving, compassionate. And it was interesting. It was like last night, and I'd messed something up, and I was just saying to myself, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did this, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, what do you teach?" And I had actually just, met with a client, and we had talked a lot about the importance of be gentle with yourself, right? Be gentle. And I think we need to hear this over and over and over again on loop. So as you find yourself with the negative self talk, which is, where our minds tend to go, what I want to encourage you is to keep these three ideas in mind that I'm going to share with you. And then I'm also going to give you some ideas on phrases to replace the, oh my God, I can't believe I did X. Okay, so number one that she talks about is self kindness versus self judgment. All right, so that's the example of what. I just gave of like last night. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you messed this up. Right. And then it's like, okay, how can I be kind to myself about this versus being judgy? Recognizing, which is number two, the common humanity of all of this. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. So we're all doing the best we can at where we are at that time in our lives. So number two is common humanity versus isolation. So it says, common humanity is recognition that all humans suffer and that we're not alone too whenever we struggle, right? And so I think that can be helpful because oftentimes it can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one who has typos in her emails or, who does X, whatever, and it's like, well, actually, we all do these things just on different levels. So recognizing the common humanity of struggle and suffering is a helpful piece of self compassion. Then, number three, I love this one too, mindfulness versus over identification. So, this is observing our thoughts and feelings without judging them as good or bad and without overly identifying with them. So, versus I'm angry, I'm so angry. It's like, I'm experiencing anger, right? Completely different. And so, recognizing that it's helpful to identify our emotions, what it is we're feeling, and also to recognize they are not who we are, right? They are what we are experiencing in that moment. And as Pema Chodron beautifully says, you are the sky, everything else is just the weather, right? So to remember that all these emotions and these challenges that float through are the weather. We are the sky. Okay, so now what I wanted to share with you, and I'm just going to pull this up real quick, are some phrases that we can repeat rather than like, oh my God, I can't believe I did X. And this is all about loving kindness towards self. And again, there's so many wonderful resources out there on mindful self compassion. I definitely encourage you to check out. So here are a few. May I be safe? May I be healthy? May I remember we're all human? May I have peace of mind? May I care for myself? May I be free from suffering? May I be free from judgments? May I accept the circumstances of my life? Okay, so those are just a few, right? And aren't those beautiful versus the, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did X, right? Or that you messed up Y again. So think about notice how it is that you're speaking to yourself, and then ask yourself, how could I be a bit more gentle? How could I treat myself as I would a dear friend? Would I ever say this to a dear friend? No. All right. So otherwise, we wouldn't have any friends. So it's recognizing how can I be a good friend also to myself? All right, mindful self-compassion. I hope this is helpful. Go forth and be gentle, and thank you for being here.